What's up, y'all? So you're thinking about moving to Duluth, Georgia. Well, I'm going to talk to you about that today. I'm going to talk to you about the pros, about the cons, because I myself have been living in Duluth for the past 8 years. I've actually owned a couple of businesses in Duluth. So we're going to be talking about the schools. We're going to talk about the restaurants, the diversity, the local politics and municipalities. We're going to give you everything you need to know about moving to Duluth, Georgia. What's up? I am Rip the Realtor, and let me know if you are considering to move into Duluth. I can help you. I can be your local tour guide, and obviously I am also a real estate agent licensed here in Georgia, so I can help you with that move as well. So just let me know, hit my number, you'll see it at the end, and don't forget to subscribe. So without further ado, let's jump into one of the first pros and cons of living in Duluth, Georgia. So the first one, pro, it is easy to find community here in Duluth, Georgia, primarily due to the downtown area of Duluth. They have all kinds of things that are constantly going on down there. They've got Food Truck Fridays, where during the summer they have all these food trucks come in. They have concerts there on the town green. They've got a fountain that is going up for kids. You can bring your kids. They can run around in the fountain. There's tons of places to eat. There's a brewery downtown. Eddie's Attic, who used to be in Decatur and now has Eddie's Attic there in downtown Duluth, has a lot of great local musicians, singer-songwriters. It's just an easy place to fall into community. You show up once or twice. The next time you're down there, you're going to see people that you know. You're going to see shop owners. You're going to see restaurant owners. You wander into Simply Done Donuts. Donuts is my specialty. Tell me you know Rip the Realtor. You want the Rip the Realtor specialty. There's not really a specialty there, but still, you can tell them that you know Rip the Realtor. So the next thing that I want to talk about when it comes to Duluth is location. Location, right? That's super important to pretty much everybody. So the pro to the location with Duluth is Interstate 85 runs right through Duluth. It's easy to jump on there. It's easy to get to places. It's easy to jump on Interstate 85 and shoot south straight down to Atlanta. You hit the city in probably 20 minutes from Duluth, get to the airport in, I don't know, maybe 30 to 40 minutes. Then if you go north on Interstate 85, you're going to be able to come across Lake Lanier, which is a great boating lake, great fishing lake, all kinds of water recreation. There's restaurants on the lake. Go a little bit further north and you're in the mountains. You're hiking trails. You're in national forest. So there's all kinds of things. If you can't find it in Duluth, it's just a quick drive either north or south. But that can also be a con, right? Because with Interstate 85 running through Duluth, it also means traffic. And it's getting harder and harder to get away from traffic, but you're definitely going to find some traffic in Duluth. There's pockets where it's not as bad, but obviously the closer you get to interstate, the closer you get to bustling business, the more traffic you're going to hit. So let's talk a little bit about the accommodations in Duluth. There's all kinds of different accommodations. One of my favorites, diversity with food. So there's all kinds of different restaurants, different types of ethnic foods. A couple of my favorites, I love Jamaican food. So there's a lot of great places to go for Jamaican food. There's several different restaurants around. Mama's Paradise is one of my favorites. Oh man, jerk chicken and beef patties, don't even get me going. I also love Korean barbecue. I've got a couple of buddies who will show me around to some of the more authentic Korean barbecue restaurants. I'm always going with the all-you-can-eat variety, the option to be able to eat as much Korean barbecue as you can. The con to that would be you're going to need a nap afterwards. But the pro, there's all kinds of restaurants to choose from, all kinds of different types. Of course, you've got your mainstream franchises and restaurants like Chick-fil-A. That's a big one in the South. My kids probably eat it 3 times a week. They're starting to turn into chicken nuggets, but it's a great spot. So you've got individually owned small business restaurants and you've got the franchise restaurants as well. There is plenty of sports and extracurricular activities for the kids. I know both my kids have done baseball, football, soccer, wrestling, MMA. And so not only are there all kinds of opportunities to sign up for those sports and to compete in those sports, but there's also several training facilities. If you've got a kid that you're wanting to specialize in baseball or you're wanting to specialize in football, they've got those facilities to where you can go and get specialized coaching and training in that sport. And so when it comes to your kids being involved, I love using businesses like GSP, stands for Georgia Sports Performance. They do all kinds of training. They do football training there. They do baseball training. They do basketball training. They've got a full-size boxing ring, so they even do boxing training, pretty much anything you can think of. Also love utilizing Zilla training. My son does a lot of football training there. They've got some specialized coaches where my son works with an amazing DB, defensive back coach, Coach Scoob, who's great at what he does. And both my boys love training at Creighton MMA, learning jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai kickboxing, boxing techniques over there with Paul Creighton, who is a great guy, competed in all kinds of jiu-jitsu tournaments as well as in the UFC. And it's just a great family atmosphere. So no matter what sport your kid plays, there's opportunities for them. There's also a lot of local opportunities for community theater for your kids to get involved with if they're more into the arts. There's tons of people who do private art lessons. So there's just a wide variety of different ways to get your kids plugged into the community. So now let's jump into more the actual city of Duluth and some of the investments that go into the city. So you see a lot of the local government, the local municipalities constantly looking at how can we make our city even more beautiful? How can we make it more appealing? One way that we're seeing, so just right in front of my neighborhood, they're doing all this construction. Why? Because they are taking from Rogers Bridge Park, which is a great park. We have amazing parks in Duluth. Rogers Bridge Park that will run all the way down to the Swanee Greenway. It's a great greenway trail. My wife loves it. Tons of woods, creeks that you can run along. It's going to be a several mile wide long biking and walking trail. So it's going to go all the way from Rogers Bridge Park going down Peachtree Industrial Boulevard all the way down to the Swanee Greenway. So now my wife no longer has to drive her car to the Swanee Greenway trail. She just goes up to the neighborhood entrance and hits that trail and she's good to go. So that's one thing that we're seeing a lot of investment in. We're seeing a lot of construction, especially around the downtown area, trying to make housing a little more affordable by building some townhomes. So there's several townhomes that are going up around the downtown Duluth area, as well as obviously single family home construction, but you're not seeing that as much around downtown Duluth. Space is limited, so it's going out just a little bit further from there. And I'll tell you another great thing about the city of Duluth, especially if you're a business owner or you're looking into investments in Duluth, is the Gwinnett Chamber of Commerce. Now it is Gwinnett County Chamber of Commerce, but they are located in Duluth. And that particular Chamber of Commerce is, I believe it's the third largest in the country for a Chamber of Commerce, one of the best ones in the country. So they're super supportive of wanting to see small businesses thrive, wanting to see people who are even just salespeople within businesses. They're great at supporting. They do tons of ribbon cuttings. When a new business opens up, they let everybody know in the chamber, all the members of the chamber, hey, we've got this business opening. We're going to cut the ribbon as a grand opening. We would love for you to come out and support. So oftentimes there's food and drinks and just almost a celebration of a new business opening. So it's really cool to be in a city that sees your city support what you're doing. Now, let's talk about real estate in the city of Duluth, right? That is my specialty. I am a realtor, so we got to talk about some real estate. So here's the cool thing about Duluth. There is, I mentioned diversity earlier. There's diversity in food. There's diversity in people. There's diversity in economics, and there's diversity in housing. So what do I mean by that? There are several price points when it comes to housing in Duluth. You can be at the level where you're wanting to buy a $3 million home and lived in a gated community and being able to go play golf within your own community while getting a meal at the clubhouse. So we have that. And then we also have homes where maybe you're wanting to spend more around $300,000 instead of the $3 million. So there's homes for that, single family homes and townhomes. Single family homes are a little bit harder to find for that $300,000 range, but you can definitely find some townhomes and some homes of that nature in that same price range. So just to give you an example, people always ask me, hey, when is the best time to buy real estate? Now. And here's what I mean by that. We all hear these stories of, oh man, 10 years ago, if I'd only bought this home, it would have been worth X. This is your 10 years ago today. In other words, buy that home today. In 10 years, it's going to be worth a lot more, especially in the city of Duluth. So just to give you an example of how I come up with that, 2 years ago, the average price point of a home in Duluth was $288,000, right? Just below $300,000. Guess what it is today? Over $440,000. So in 2 years, $288,000 went up to $440,000. Is that a good investment? $160,000 in 2 years. That's a pretty good investment. You know, people are asking, is the market crashing? Are we having less homes available? So just to give you an example on that, availability, again, just a year ago, we had 84 homes available in the month of May. Right now, we have 106. So there's a few more homes available. 2 years ago, we had 250 houses available. So we're seeing a little fluctuation between last year and this year, but still some good availability. We have actually a few more available homes now than we did a year ago. And really, days on the market, in other words, how many days does this home take to sell? It's about the same. 2 years ago, we were at about 8 days on the market, pretty fast. Used to be more around 30 days. Today, about 6 days. So they're going just a couple of days faster than they were 2 years ago. And then finally, you know, everybody asks about, hey, what's a healthy real estate market? What does that look like? Well, a balanced market, when we're talking about balance, we're talking about considering buyers and sellers. So when we're talking about a balanced market, typically 3 months of inventory, meaning we have houses, if everybody bought up all the houses available, it'd take 3 months before we sold out. That's what a balanced market looks like. Right now, we're looking at just over a month's supply. So it's still leaning a little bit towards a seller's market. But again, when's a great time to buy? Now. So there's kind of your snapshot of the real estate market in Duluth. So if you're thinking about moving to Duluth, or you just have some questions on what it's like to move to Duluth or what it's like living in Duluth, give me a call. You'll see my number at the end, because I'm helping folks every day in Duluth, Georgia with the real estate market, whether that be from my YouTube channel or locally, referrals, or even just through all the different business organizations that I network through. I'm in the Duluth community. Would love to help y'all out. So give me a call. Let me know how I can.